half my income goes to rent. Every single month before I touch a dollar, half of it is already gone. And before you calculate whether that is smart or stupid, let me tell you what else happens every month. $1,000 leaves my account automatically, not to bills, not to emergencies, to the future, savings, investments, a number that grows whether I feel motivated or not. So here is the question nobody is asking. If half goes to rent and 1,000 goes to savings, what exactly is left? And more importantly, how is this person not broke? Stay with me, because what I am about to show you is not a budgeting trick. It is a complete rewiring of how money moves through a life. Most people look at my rent and see a mistake. The apartment is clean. The location is not cheap. From the outside, it looks like I am one bad month away from a crisis. People assume I am stretched. They assume the nice address means the savings account is empty. They are wrong, and the reason they are wrong is not income. It is architecture. Here is what the average person does with money. They pay rent, they spend, they enjoy, they react, and at the end of the month, they save whatever survives, which is usually nothing. Because money without structure does not accumulate. It disappears, not all at once, slowly, through subscriptions that renew quietly, meals that feel small but add up, purchases that made sense in the moment and feel stupid by Tuesday. That was my life before I understood what I am about to tell you. The shift did not start with more income. It started with a decision about sequence. Rent is fixed. It leaves the same day every month. There is no negotiation, no emotion, no impulse. It simply goes. Most people accept that rent is a fixed cost and then treat everything else as flexible. That is the error, because if only rent is fixed, then the entire rest of your financial life is driven by how you feel on any given day. I made savings fixed too, before I see the money, before I decide what to eat, where to go, what to buy, before the month even starts. $1,000 moves automatically, without my permission, without my mood getting a vote. Now everything else has to fight for what is left. And this is where the psychology becomes interesting, because when money is scarce, you become precise. When you know the number is not going to grow no matter how creative your spending gets, you stop being casual. Groceries become planned, subscriptions become hunted, eating out becomes a choice instead of a default. Impulse becomes delayed, and delayed impulse usually dies. Your rent is expensive, but your lack of structure would have cost more. Now here is where people get confused about luxury. They think luxury is space. It is square footage. It is the car, the dinner, the outfit, the vacation that photographs well. They think the goal of financial success is to finally afford the things that look successful. But ask anyone who is actually wealthy. Not appearance wealthy, actually wealthy. Ask them what luxury feels like. They will not describe a penthouse. They will describe waking up without financial panic. They will describe not asking their paycheck for permission. They will describe the feeling of a decision that has nothing to do with whether they can afford it. That is what this system produces, not the appearance of wealth, the feeling of control. The apartment is not the flex, the discipline behind it is. But nobody sees the discipline. That is the part that costs something emotionally, and I want to be honest about it. Your friends are upgrading their lives publicly. New car, new apartment, new clothes, new trips. Their Instagram tells a story of consistent elevation. And when they see your place, they assume you are doing the same thing, spending to your limit, maybe past it. They do not see the transfer that leaves your account on the first of every month before you can betray yourself. Some of them think you are doing well. Some of them think you say no to too many things. Some of them think you are boring. And none of them can see what you are actually buying with every no. You learn something uncomfortable in this season. Building quietly looks like struggle to people who only understand display. And that silence becomes something you have to decide to protect. Because the people who are the loudest about spending are usually the quietest about saving. Some people call it missing out. They cannot see what you are buying instead. Now let me show you the proof, because this is the part that changes everything. Month 1, $1,000. It does not feel like much. It is a number. You see it in the account. You feel the discipline of the month. And then life keeps moving. Month 3, $3,000. Now it starts to feel real, not life-changing but real, like something is actually being built. Month 6, $6,000. This is the first time the number feels like protection, not just savings, a buffer, a wall between you and the kind of emergency that sends most people backward, the kind that wipes out a month or two of progress in a single bad week. Month 12, $12,000. The first $12,000 does not make you rich. It makes you dangerous because now you are a different kind of person. You have proven to yourself that you can do this, not in theory. In practice, through the hard months, through the months where something tempting appeared, through the months where something broke and needed to be fixed, you proved the system holds. And here is where the identity shifts. Quietly, without announcement, you stop seeing yourself as someone trapped by high rent. You stop running the mental math of, if only my rent were lower. You start thinking like a builder. A raise is no longer automatic lifestyle inflation. A bonus does not disappear into celebration. A tax refund does not become a shopping spree. Every increase in income becomes a weapon pointed at the future. Poverty trains you to survive. Discipline trains you to command. And now look further, because this is the part that makes the sacrifice feel different in retrospect. $12,000 a year. Over 5 years, that is $60,000 before any investment growth, before any raise, before any bonus, before compounding starts doing the work you used to do alone. The apartment that looked like a financial mistake becomes the place where the system was built. The address that people thought was reckless becomes the training ground where you learn to be precise under pressure. And precision under pressure is the most valuable financial skill that exists, because conditions will never be perfect. Income will never feel like enough to start. There will always be a reason to wait, a better time, a cleaner moment, a month where things are easier. Most people wait for those conditions forever. You stopped waiting before the income arrived. You became disciplined before it was comfortable. You built the system before the stakes were high. And now, because the behavior already exists, every dollar that enters your life has somewhere to go. You were not waiting for easier conditions. You were becoming the person who could build inside hard ones. That is why the future bends toward you and not away. Here is the last thing I will say. If you need the rent to be lower before you start, you will find another reason after the rent drops. If you need the income to be higher before the savings begins, the lifestyle will rise to meet the income and nothing will remain. If you need the circumstances to be comfortable before the discipline arrives, the discipline will never arrive. The system does not wait for your comfort. You build it now, in the middle of the pressure, or you keep watching other people describe what it felt like when they finally did. If you need perfect conditions before you build, this channel will probably offend you. But if you are building quietly, under pressure, while people mistake your silence for struggle, you already know what this is. Subscribe. This is where invisible builders come to sharpen the machine.